afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Live at 4 on this Wednesday.
It feels like summertime.
Almost 70 degrees outside.
Good stuff. It's
and
spring.
Big changes coming, though, in the weather.
Yeah, that's right.
Get the details from Dana coming up. But first, topping our headlines, a closed-door meeting we weren't allowed into, but got plenty of info coming out of the Capitol today. We'll fill you in on Speaker Robin Voss's discussion with people who want to decertify Wisconsin's election.
Plus, a judge expects to see Chandler Halderson front and center in his courtroom tomorrow when he is sentenced for murdering his parents. We'll share why the judge denied Halderson's request to skip the hearing.
Today, the Ukrainian people are defending not only Ukraine, we are fighting for the values of Europe and the world.
A plea from Ukrainian President Zelensky asking the U.S. Congress for more help. As I mentioned, great day outside, beautiful. Though got kind of windy, but when you get 70 degrees in March, wind's got to blow a little bit.
But it is March, and there's going to be a big change coming for Friday.
Dana's in the backyard. We'll just keep today as it is.
Yeah, if we could just bottle up today and keep it. It's definitely an afternoon where I hope you're able to get a little bit of time outside or at least sit by a window because it is sunny and 65 right now in Madison. Our breeze coming in from the southwest. It's been picking up a little bit over the last few hours. We've seen those wind speeds climb up through the teens, wind gusts creeping up a little higher. 70 currently in Janesville, 66 in Platteville right now. Compared to this time yesterday, it's quite a temperature jump, about a 15-degree jump for most of southern Wisconsin. Again, current wind speeds sitting in the teens for most of us coming from the southwest, but wind gusts have got close to about 26 for Janesville here in the last hour, 22 in Madison. So enough that you'll notice the wind blowing around a little bit, but as Mark said, it's March, so when it gets this warm, it usually comes along with a bit of a breeze. For Thursday, plan on high temperatures not being quite as mild. We'll be in the mid-50s, cloudy outside with some rain building in late in the afternoon and some more showers expected to linger into Friday. We'll look at that timeline in just a few seconds. Right now, Dane County overall looks pretty smooth for this time of the evening. East and westbound along the Beltline, no major delays, and 39 north and southbound in Rock County. All is smooth for us. Downtown Janesville looks pretty good for it this afternoon. As far as drive times to get from the Beltline to Janesville, 25 minutes, 16 minutes to get from Middleton to Sauk City, and downtown to Sun Prairie, 18 minutes on this. A sunny evening. You'll need the shades for the drive home. Tomorrow you'll need the windshield wipers. We'll go ahead and take a look at the timing for that rain chance in just a few minutes.
Spring in Wisconsin. All right, Dana, thank you. A group that's been questioning the integrity of the 2020 election was at the Capitol again today, this time meeting with Assembly Speaker Robin Voss.
They're hoping the speaker will consider their position and do more to look into the process and the results. Will Keneally was there, and he joins us from the newsroom with more. Will?
Well, thanks, Mark and Susan. The group met with Speaker Robin Voss in a closed-door meeting away from public eye. Organizers said that they wanted to provide expert testimony to Voss to ask him to consider a resolution to decertify Wisconsin's 10 presidential electors that voted for Joe Biden in 2020. After the meeting, Voss said the group may not have liked the results, but there's not much the legislature can do now.
The problem gets down to what's the remedy. There are some people who think that the legislature has the unilateral ability to overturn the election. We do not.
Certainly think that this kind of meeting elevates a group of people that should truly be on the fringe of Wisconsin. These are people who want to overturn a legitimate democratic election, and the fact that Speaker Voss is meeting with them here in the Capitol like this does give them a platform that I don't think they deserve.
Also at the meeting, but not quite inside the room, was Representative Tim Ramthun. He's a conservative representative who's been vocal about calling for the decertification of Wisconsin's electors. He's also running for governor. Ramthun says he was kicked out of the meeting by Voss because he was running for governor. We'll hear more from him at 6.
All right, well, thank you, and welcome to News 3 Now. The Dane County Medical Examiner has identified the man who died after a crash on Madison's southwest side yesterday. 24-year-old Anthony Koger died in the hospital after he was pulled from this flaming car after a crash in the 5400 block of Raymond Road. He was the only person in the car. According to police, witnesses said a car was speeding when it left the road and went airborne, hitting a tree and bursting into flames. Madison fire officials said Tuesday that bystanders tried to help the man out of the vehicle. Well, the Dane County man convicted of killing and dismembering his parents will be required to attend his sentencing hearing tomorrow.
This morning, a Dane County judge ruled against Chandler Halderson's motion not to be present. Our digital content manager, James Langer, joins us now to explain why. James?
Hey, yeah, the judge ordered Chandler Halderson to appear for his sentencing hearing tomorrow due to a precedent set by the state Supreme Court about 25 years ago. In that case from 1997, the Supreme Court ruled that defendants convicted of felonies cannot intentionally skip their sentencing hearings. Judge John Hyland said this morning, because of that, he could not approve Halderson's request not to attend. He also said he was concerned allowing Halderson not to show up would pose problems down the line if he decided he wanted to appeal whatever sentence he receives tomorrow. Now, Halderson will be required to attend his sentencing tomorrow, as we said, where he could end up having to hear some impact statements from victims in the case and members of his family. We'll be live streaming that sentencing hearing live on channel3000.com and on Channel 3000 Plus streaming app starting at 1:30 tomorrow afternoon.
And what else can we expect to come out of the sentencing tomorrow?
Yeah, aside from those victim impact statements, we'll find out whether Halderson will ever have a chance for parole. Basically, state law says that because he was convicted of first-degree intentional homicide, he will have mandatory life sentences, but the judge will be able to decide if at some point he will be eligible to be released. Of course, even if he does get that opportunity to apply for parole, it's not a sure thing.
Emotional day on tap for tomorrow, and it'll be on Channel 3000 platforms all over the place.
Everywhere. Everywhere
we'll
online.
Tomorrow, James,
Yep.
thank
James,
you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Today, President Biden said Russian President Vladimir Putin is a war criminal, and he laid out his administration's plan to send additional aid for Ukraine's defense.
It came just hours after Ukraine's leader, President Zelensky, made a compelling call to Congress and the U.S. for more help.
Natalie Brand is at the White House with the latest.
Before a receptive Congress, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky made an emotional and powerful plea for even stronger sanctions on Russia and help defending Ukraine's skies.
We are fighting for the values of Europe and the world, sacrificing our lives in the name of the future.
Zelensky showed a hard-to-watch video depicting the devastation to his country while attacks continued in real time. Russian forces targeted people waiting in a bread line in Chernihiv. President Zelensky ended his remarks with a direct appeal to President Biden.
I wish you to be the leader of the world. Being the leader of the world means to be the leader of peace.
Wednesday afternoon, the president detailed $800 million in new security assistance to Ukraine, which will include anti-aircraft systems, small arms, and specialized drones.
The United States and our allies and partners are fully committed to surging weapons of assistance to the Ukrainians, and more will be coming.
The Biden administration and bipartisan members of Congress agree that creating a no-fly zone would be escalatory, but lawmakers are calling on the White House to provide even more direct defense support.
I support enthusiastically the sending of MiG aircraft from Poland to the Ukrainian Air Force so they can be more competitive in the skies.
Congressional leaders received a classified briefing on the crisis Wednesday afternoon. Natalie Brandt, CBS News, the White House.
The White House says National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan spoke with his Russian counterpart today, warning of consequences should Russia decide to use chemical or biological weapons in Ukraine.
Russian and Ukrainian officials have signaled progress toward a possible compromise in the ongoing peace talks, though Russian President Putin says it's still a military operation and it's going according to plan. Governor Tony Evers signed 3 bills into law today designed to curb opioid use. He signed them at an addiction rehab facility in La Crosse. The first bill creates 3 tiers of felonies for manufacturing, dealing, and possessing fentanyl based on the amount and increases the maximum prison sentence for the crimes by 5 years if the crimes occur in a public housing project or near a park, swimming pool, youth center, or school. The second bill decriminalizes the use of fentanyl testing strips to confirm a substance as fentanyl. Such strips are classified as drug paraphernalia under current state law.
You know, we have a significant issue in the state of Wisconsin around this. People are dying because of it, and we've brought together a really good group of folks to make it happen in a bipartisan way.
The third bill calls for the creation of a state database tracking meth and opioid use.
Just as Americans are taking off their masks, another COVID variant is spreading. China is facing its worst outbreak since Wuhan 2 years ago, with more than 10,000 COVID cases reported this month. A new subvariant of the virus, BA.2, is more transmissible than Omicron, but doesn't seem to be more severe. It could be why nearly half of European countries have seen cases rise. Hospital workers in Ukraine find themselves on two front lines, fighting the virus in intensive care units as the war rages on outside.
I don't want to say it's not as serious anymore. It's has been overpowered by war situation.
At the borders, there is no COVID testing. The virus has taken a back seat to survival. The BA.2 variant now makes up nearly a quarter of new infections among Americans, but daily cases and hospitalizations here in the U.S. continue to drop.
Attorney General Josh Kaul joined Alliant Energy and the IBEW union to urge parents to use the National Child Identification Program. The program provides parents and guardians with identification kits to easily collect and record the physical characteristics, fingerprints, and DNA of their children. This provides authorities with vital information, if ever needed, to locate missing children. Alliant Energy Wisconsin will help fund kits to all K through 12 students. Previously, the program had only provided free kits for K through second grade students. 975 test kits will be distributed across Wisconsin.
Dozens of students walked out of La Follette High School this morning to protest the potential removal of a staff member they call Coach Assad. Students say he played a major role in leading conversations about mental health. And without his support, many students feel their access to emotional and academic encouragement will be limited.
We also want to push a statement that, even though we are students, our voices need to be heard and our statements need to be heard, and there needs to be action towards their own statements, and that broken promises shouldn't be made.
In a statement, the district said it couldn't talk about the staff member, citing district policy. The statement added the district recognizes the concerns raised by students at today's walkout are valuable. Conversations regarding the issue will continue in the coming weeks.
Well, March Madness starts in earnest tomorrow. The Badgers play their first game in Milwaukee Friday night.
Got your brackets done?
I do.
Sports director Zach Hanley will look at Bucky's chances of advancing in the big dance when Live at 4 continues.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4.
This, allergy sufferers, is my favorite Zysol bedtime story. It's about the time when allergy symptoms ruined people's sleep and made them miserable all the next day. Oh, what relief they found taking Zysol at night. It worked while they slept and they woke refreshed for more productive days ahead. Zysol provides powerful relief. Plus, it lasts up to 6 times longer than Benadryl, works faster than Claritin, and on first dose provides the same relief as Zyrtec in a pill nearly half the size. So, be wise all, take Zysol. At night.
Andrew Larson here, owner of Larson Home Services. My team is fired up. We've discovered a new replacement gutter system that sets the standard for performance, durability, and beauty. It's called Gutter Shutter, and it's guaranteed to never clog, sag, or pull away. Gutter Shutter is the world's strongest high-performance gutter with thicker aluminum, wider gutter size, and it's available in 18 beautiful colors. Best of all, it's made 100% in the USA. Over the years, my team at Larson Home Services has installed thousands of gutter systems and premium roofs in our community. And what really sets us apart is the experience you'll have. You'll be like a member of our team throughout the entire process, and we'll always follow up to make sure your experience with us was as promised. That's the Larson experience. We can't wait to show you what Gutter Shutter can do for your home. Right now, get 75% off installation labor, free financing for 24 months, and a $100 Visa gift card with your new Gutter Shutter system. Call now to set up your free estimate.
PTI, I need the PDF, COB, AKA EOD. What's the ETA?
ASAP, FYI.
LMK. HBD Gordon. HBDY.
LOL, look at this GIF. It's GIF. FWIW.
ROTFL.
You see my IM?
TLDR.
What?
Too long. Didn't read.
Okay. We don't need any more acronyms, but we could all use more ways to save.
BMX, YOLO!
Switch to Geico for more ways to save.
SMH. Consumer Cellular has the best customer service.
They care about the customer.
The best price with the best quality.
The prices, the coverage.
The coverage is great.
It was the same, if not better.
Consumer Cellular provides the exact same premium coverage as the nation's leading carriers for half the cost. Switch to Consumer Cellular and get talk, text, and data starting at just $20 a month.
It's like 4 scoops of ice cream for the price of 1.
Switch today and get $25 on every new line. Call or go online.
Dairy farms disappearing, prices up, COVID's still not gone. And what's Ron Johnson done? Voted against new jobs and told us to take mouthwash to cure COVID. I'm Sarah Godlewski. I grew up in Eau Claire where we're more interested in common sense than conspiracies. That's how I've run the state treasurer's office, and common sense is what, quite frankly, we could use in Washington. Practical ideas that just help people, not mouthwash. I'm Sarah Godlewski, and that's why I approve this message.
Welcome back. In Wyoming, it's legal to take home roadkill.
Last year, the state passed a law allowing residents to pick up dead animals from the roadways, if you want to do that. But there are some restrictions. There are certain interstates where it is not safe to stop and collect roadkill. No one can collect roadkill at night. You can't take home grizzly bears, mountain goats, bighorn sheep, and some birds. And you have to take the entire carcass with you. You cannot just take the head of a deer, for example, or the prime cuts of meat.
Why are we running that story?
You're going to Wyoming.
Planning a flight? Or better plan to pay up. Prices aren't just going up at the pump. Jet fuel prices are sky high as well. But your flight cost has less to do with fuel and more to do with demand. Delta and American say the demand they're seeing right now is unprecedented. Both airlines had record days for passenger bookings last week, which means they're charging more, about 8 to 10% higher than what they thought they'd be charging. It's not great for our bottom line, but it's a big boost for the airline industry, which lost tens of billions of dollars as demand for air travel plunged during the pandemic. Prices aren't back to where they were pre-pandemic at this point, but all this demand should be enough to get the industry back to profitability for the first time since 2019.
To fight inflation, the Federal Reserve today raised interest rates for the first time since 2018. Investors digested that news and sent stocks higher. The Dow Industrials added 518 points to close at 34,063. The Nasdaq jumped 487, or almost 4%, and the S&P 500 was up 95. Well, the first 2 games of the NCAA tournament have already been played, with Texas Southern and Indiana officially moving on to the next round.
They're not in the real bracket, though, right?
Well, right.
Because I'm already done that.
It's the first 4. It's the first 4.
Okay. So if you're a basketball nut, you have to TV turn at CBS for Michigan versus Colorado State game. 11:15 sharp tomorrow morning.
Now, for Badger fans, you'll have a long time to wait for Bucky, all the way until Friday night at 8:50 p.m. on TBS. That's when the 3rd-seeded Badgers face off against 14-seed Colgate.
And sports director Zach Hanley joins us now to discuss the Badgers' road to the Sweet 16. I think we've upgraded the chalkboard.
Yeah,
here.
we swapped out the chalkboard, and last week we had Brady. We upgraded to Susan, right? And I've been practicing on this all week. So you got Bucky, Colgate, LSU, Iowa State. We'll just focus on this for a second. So if the Badgers want to get to here, there's kind of 3 big things that they want to do. You want to score, obviously. So we're not talking about just Johnny Davis. We're talking about Tyler Wall needs to score. Brad Davison needs to score more. Chucky Hepper needs to score. Because Johnny Davis can't do it all, right? He can't do it all. I mean, and
Susan can, but
Susan can, but you know, maybe not Johnny Davis. Defend. Look at this chicken scratch. The 3.
Good penmanship.
Defend the 3. Colgate is the 2nd best team shooting 3 in the country.
Oh, wow.
Their percentage is 40%. They make the 3s 40% of the time.
Wow.
Badgers gonna have to defend the 3. And the last thing, let's write it over here. That's a B. Block out the noise. They're basically at home, right?
Being in Milwaukee at
Madison,
Fiserv Forum, yeah.
79 miles from Kohl Center to Fiserv Forum, right? The last time they played there in the tournament, 2014-2015 season, They struggled a bit against Oregon. They got it done, but it wasn't as easy as they thought. So all the distractions, all the family members trying to get tickets, all the Badger fans there, maybe puts a little more pressure on the Badgers to perform. So block out the noise, have more than Johnny Davis score, and defend the three.
Other than the three-point shots, what else should we know about Colgate?
Colgate.
It's a good toothpaste.
Yeah.
that's how I do my brackets.
I don't use Colgate. I'm a Crest guy, and if you are a Colgate guy, you should change over to Crest for this week.
What's their seed?
They're the 14th seed, okay. So this would be a massive upset for them. They're a veteran team, so they've been there, they've done that. They're not going to be scared of the big moment.
Okay, let's move on to the next one.
So these two teams are pretty similar. They both started out really hot, and then they kind of faded off as the season went on. Big thing here, LSU's head coach, they fired him a couple of days ago.
Oh, that's not good.
So this can go either one of two ways.
Which way are you picking?
They can rally around the team, or they can just fall apart. I think I'm going to go LSU just because Iowa State isn't very good this year.
Okay, so then Bucky plays LSU when?
Yep.
On
Sunday.
And that's a tough matchup, huh?
What's LSU's? What's it? They're
the 6th seed.
Okay, so it's a...
I mean, but we have to go with Wisconsin because they're in Milwaukee, right?
Yeah.
And then they go to Chicago.
Home court advantage.
Mm-hmm. And you guys are coming to Chicago with me?
I'd love to.
Bring this along with you.
Yeah, I'll work on my penmanship.
Maybe make it a little thinner.
Yeah.
All right, Zach.
That was great,
Thank
Zach.
you.
Thank you.
And you'll be in Milwaukee?
Yep.
All right, we'll look for that. Is there a right and wrong way to fill out a bracket?
Well, it turns out there is. We'll talk with an engineer from UW-Madison to look at the science of building a winning bracket. That's coming up after Dana's First Warn forecast.
What are you recommending for muscle pain?
Based on clinical data, I recommend Salonpas.
Agreed. My patients like these patches because they work up to 12 hours, even on moderate pain.
Salonpas, it's good medicine.
No matter what you do, who you are, or how much money you earn, when it comes to doing taxes, don't go it alone. Jackson Hewitt Tax Pros will make certain you don't miss out on a single deduction. Get the biggest refund you deserve at Jackson Hewitt.
About 40% off lenses with purchase of a frame. Wisconsin Vision. See more life.
Nothing beats a great night's sleep on a new mattress from Steinhoffels. Right now, get a Tempur-Pedic Queen mattress for only $23.99 and get $300 in Steinhoffels cash. Take your sleep to the next level with the Tempur-Pedic Ergo Base that automatically adjusts your position while you sleep to help reduce snoring. Queen bases start at just $24.99. And with Steinhoffels special financing and free delivery, your new mattress has never been more affordable. Relax, it's Steinhoffels.
It's Chevy Truck Month, and it's time to add the perfect accessories to your new Chevy. Make it bolder. Make it work harder. Make it your own. Find new possibilities. Find new roads. Very well qualified buyers can get 0% financing on most Chevy pickup trucks. Plus, now during Truck Month, get a $1,000 accessory allowance toward the eligible purchase of a new Chevy truck with accessories. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
Want great hires? Happy and productive employees? And a strong local economy for years to come? It all starts with affordable, high-quality child care for Wisconsin families. Partner with a child care program in your community and reach your shared goals together with a grant from Project Growth. See all the ways partnership pays at projectgrowth.wi.gov.
Everything seems to be more expensive these days. Everything costs more. Ron Johnson should be helping families like us, but he seems to have helped himself instead. An investigation found that Ron Johnson pushed through a special tax loophole that benefited his own family's business. Then he cashed out of the company for $5 million. He's doubled his wealth since taking office. It doesn't seem fair to me. Tell Ron Johnson to stop passing tax laws that benefit himself.
Well, Well, take a look at this. Watch a motorcyclist save himself from nearly coasting off the edge of a Florida drawbridge by bailing out at the very last second. Police say rider Mark Hagan told them he was cleaning his helmet visor when he passed warning lights and crashed through the traffic arm. Realizing the drawbridge was opening, Hagan ditched the bike mere feet from the opening, leaving the bike and its trailer dangling off the Daytona Beach Bridge. Police say Hagan was not injured, but was issued a citation for careless driving.
And it's raining on top of it.
And it's raining.
You think when you crash through the barrier, the arm.
Don't drive around the warning barriers. We see this all the time with trains. You don't drive. They're there for a reason.
Who is this?
That's a different story.
Oh, okay.
We're not going to get to that story.
That's people stealing gas.
Oh, okay.
From gas stations.
Great, more good news.
Well, hope you enjoyed today, right?
Yes, my goodness, it is nice outside. It is sunny, it feels good. Thank you for bringing a little South Carolina back as far as the weather goes. But it is going to get a little colder by the end of the week, and we might even see a few snowflakes swirling around come Friday. Could lead to some minor accumulation. We'll take a closer look at totals right after the break.
Who's on it with Jardiance?
We're 25 million prescriptions strong.
We're managing type 2 diabetes and heart risk.
We're working up a sweat before coffee and saying no thanks to a Boston cream.
Jardiance is a once-daily pill that can reduce the risk of cardiovascular death for adults who also have known heart disease, so it could help save your life from a heart attack or stroke. And Jardiance lowers A1C.
Jardiance can cause serious side effects, including dehydration, genital yeast or urinary tract infections, and sudden kidney problems. Ketoacidosis is a serious side effect that may be fatal. A rare but life-threatening bacterial infection in the skin of the perineum could occur. Stop taking Jardiance and call your doctor right away if you have symptoms of this bacterial infection, ketoacidosis, or an allergic reaction. And don't take it if you're on dialysis. Taking Jardiance with a sulfonylurea or insulin may cause low blood sugar.
Lower A1C and lower risk of a fatal heart attack?
We're on it.
We're on it with Jardiance.
Ask your doctor about Jardiance.
Allergies just try to stop us being the greatest versions of ourselves. Allegra lasts up to 6 times longer than Benadryl, so trees, you won't take us down.
Allegra starts working 2 times faster than Claritin, so dust, you won't wipe us out.
And unlike Zyrtec, Allegra won't make us drowsy. So fur, you won't phase us. When allergies attack, take Allegra before your symptoms take over you. Live your
greatness.
Andrew Larson here, owner of Larson Home Services. My team is fired up. We've discovered a new replacement gutter system that sets the standard for performance, durability, and beauty. It's called Gutter Shutter, and it's guaranteed to never clog, sag, or pull away. It's 100% made in the USA. We'll show you why Gutter Shutter means you can stay off the ladder forever. Right now, get 75% off installation labor, free financing for 24 months, and a $100 Visa gift card with your new Gutter Shutter system. Call now to set up your free estimate.
Supply chain backlogs, inflation, agitation.
Here's an idea. If we make things here in America, supply chain issues won't be a thing anymore. That's exactly how we built the Bucks Arena, by having 80% of the materials come from Wisconsin. We did the same by paying higher wages. That's how you know, as your senator, I'll get things done. Raising people's wages, make things in America finally stand up to China. I'm Alex Lasry, and I approve this message because it's time to put more money in the pockets of working people.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Well, it is sunny and nice outside right now, but some changes on the way in the forecast over the next few days. As we look ahead to Thursday, there is a chance for some rain showers, mainly in the afternoon. That rain transitions over to some light snow on Friday. Right now, it doesn't look like we're going to see a lot of accumulation, but some minor accumulation possible by early Saturday morning. Overall, the weekend looks dry for much of Saturday and Sunday, aside from that small chance for some light snow still lingering early in the morning on Saturday. Overall, southern Wisconsin sitting in a pretty sunny spot. Will stay partly cloudy for this evening. Skies become mostly cloudy overnight. Our temperatures, as we get closer to about 10, 11 o'clock, still holding on to the 50s with that breeze coming in from the southwest. Overnight lows only dropping down to the low 40s. Rain chances tomorrow, mainly in the afternoon. This line comes in for us, and it brings some scattered showers for Thursday afternoon and evening. Temperatures during the afternoon will be in the upper 50s, mid to upper 50s. So at that point, again, just rain for us. We're mostly cloudy through the day on Thursday, and then heading into Friday, this light snow chance starts to build in for us and develop. Temperatures early in the day, generally in the mid to upper 30s, so it will possibly mix with some rain at times. We'll stay in the mid 30s through the morning. Again, that light mix possible for us for the southeast corner of the state, and this will be the trend throughout the afternoon as well, because we'll have that warm ground and the possibility for some mixed precipitation. This likely isn't going to lead to a lot of accumulation for us, just a minor amount heading into early on Saturday morning. In fact, about 1 to 2 inches for this band stretching through much of southern Wisconsin. Some isolated areas could pick up a smidge more than 2 inches, but I think most of us really staying under that 2-inch barrier, and only trace amounts for the very southeast corner of the state. For tomorrow, we'll see highs in the mid 50s. Our breeze coming in at about 8 to 15 miles per hour. So a little bit of a breeze for us in the afternoon. Plan on a cloudy sky with those rain showers coming through mainly in the evening. Now, our 6 to 10 day overall puts us pretty close to average with our temperature trend, but then a below average scoop in our 8 to 14 day. That really lines up with what we're looking at towards the end of next week. Temperatures pulling back just a little bit for us. So for tomorrow, mid 50s. Friday, much cooler. Temperatures in the upper 30s. We'll stay in the mid 30s through most of the afternoon. Some mix possible for us at night. That light mix early in the day on Saturday, and then some clearing possible for Saturday afternoon. Notice temperature-wise, Saturday in the mid 40s, Sunday in the mid 50s. So any minor accumulation doesn't stick around for long. For the start of next week, we see more rain chances building back in, more of a spring-like pattern with temperatures trending a bit above average with the rain. By the back half of the week, it does look like we'll hit a drier trend for us with temperatures barely dipping below average for us Wednesday heading into Thursday.
So a little bump in the road?
A little bump.
It's March.
Yep.
It's March. We're going to see a little bit of everything. At least we don't have to worry about too much snow coming in, though.
And it will melt.
Yes.
All right, Dana, thank you.
Thanks, Dana.
Well, we've already discussed Bucky's path to the Sweet 16, but there are many, many more teams in the tournament.
And joining us today to help you fill out your bracket, you have until tomorrow morning, is Professor of Industrial and Systems Engineering at UW-Madison, Laura Albert. Laura, it's good to see you.
Welcome back. It's been a couple of years.
It's good to be back.
So building a bracket is not just luck, right? There is actually a science to this.
Exactly. There's some luck, but the numbers help a lot.
So what are the leading indicators that you want to look for to figure out which teams will be successful and run deep in the tournament?
The color of the uniforms.
Or the toothpaste.
Well, I look at a lot of the analytics-based rankings, and you might be wondering how they rank the teams, and they look at a few things. One is points scored versus points allowed, sort of the nuts and bolts just scoring that teams can generate. Point differentials, they look at who they play and who they score those points against, as well as things like home field advantage. And looking at the tournament, we can also look at injury reports to supplement those numbers and look at the locations where the games are actually played. Some teams, like Wisconsin, will basically have a home game playing in Milwaukee, and that makes a difference.
And invariably, there are teams that big upsets.
Yep.
What's the most common upset? Is it a 116, a 215?
A 116 has only happened once.
Really?
In the first, yes, in the first round, the 5-12, 6-11, and 7-10 generate a lot of upsets, historically about 35 to 40%. That's just in the first round. If you look further into the tournament, you get a different story. The 10 and 11 seeds go a little bit further into the tournament, and by far the 11 seeds have historically gone the furthest. If we look at the 10 through 16 teams that have made it to the Final Four, that's happened 5 times. All have been 11 seeds.
Interesting.
The hypothesis is that they go the furthest before facing a 1 or 2 seed.
Oh,
so they might have an easier path.
How often does a 1 seed go all the way?
Never.
Really?
They've only that one victory,
wow.
and then that's as far as they went.
Has there ever been a perfect bracket?
Nope, not even close. And some years, only a couple people in the country have gotten all Final Four teams correct. And that's just when there's been a lot of upsets and one of those 11 seeds that have made the Final Four.
So let's look at this year's bracket. Is there a team that is analytically looking very good, but that is under the public's radar a little bit?
There's a few. I would say Houston is a 5 seed and is a little bit underseeded. In most of the analytics-based rankings, they're in the top 8, so maybe they should have been a 2 seed. If I look at lower seeds, San Francisco, South Dakota State, and Iowa State look pretty good.
Really? How does Wisconsin look?
Unfortunately, they might be a little overrated. If we look at some of the numbers, they won a lot of close victories this year, and that wasn't just a few games that occurred over this season. That was pretty systematic. So if you look at, and that's a good indicator of whether they'll win the next game. So, but they do have home court advantage, at least in their first 2 rounds of the tournament, which can make a big difference.
Did you check the injury report? We have to check the injury report as well. This is a lot of homework to do.
Or just pick teams you like, right? I mean, you're not going to win.
I mean, statistically, does it matter? I mean, if you just randomly pick it by animal names, for example, are your odds the same?
Mascots.
Yeah.
That's not a good approach. And I'll prove it to you later. We'll crunch some numbers together.
That would be fun, because you've done that one year.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the Newshounds did a bracket.
The Newshounds, yeah, they picked their favorite animal mascots. Didn't do well. I think we were busted the first round, first game, perhaps.
Yeah.
All right, well, it's going to be fun, nonetheless. It's fun to watch, do a bracket. Even if you're not gambling, it's just fun to...
Yeah, no, it's fun to know the science behind it. We'll see if we have more luck this year. Last year, we didn't do so well. We'll
Can
see.
we ask you who's going to win the whole thing?
It's hard to say, but I will say historically the #1 team going into the tournament only wins about 1 in 4 times, which is a little bit surprising. And if we put all 4 seeds for those 1 seeds together, they win about 2/3 of the time. So anybody has a chance, but most teams don't really have a chance to win it all. It's some of those few teams at the top.
Laura, interesting as always.
Oh, so interesting.
Thanks for being with us
Such a fun time of the year. Great to see you.
Thanks for having me.
Well, do you think you know more than Zach and our sports anchor, Jordan Reed?
Well, maybe you just want to know who they have in the Vermont versus Arkansas game. You can find out. Laura, who do you have in that, by the way?
I have to check my bracket.
Okay. You can find out by going online at channel3000.com/bracket. See if you can beat the members of the News 3 sports team.
And coming up next on Live at 4, a new way to examine the brain after serious trauma with less scans.
And then coming up next hour at 5, tens of thousands of people could be kicked off Medicare. So what is changing? Our Naomi Coles will tell us more at 5.
It's Chevy Truck Month, and it's time to add the perfect accessories to your new Chevy. Make it bolder. Make it work harder. Make it your own. Find new possibilities. Find new roads. Very well-qualified buyers can get 0% financing on most Chevy pickup trucks. Plus, now during Truck Month, get a $1,000 accessory allowance toward the eligible purchase of a new Chevy truck with accessories. Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in Wisconsin.
Get the Planet Fitness Black Card, our most popular membership for 0 enrollment and only $22.99 a month. With access to 2,000+ locations, bring a friend every time you visit.
I love friends.
And relaxing massage chairs.
That makes me so happy.
The PF Black Card is your ticket to all the perks.
Look at that glow.
Oh, it's all natural.
It's this place, I tell you. So get glowing and feel fit-tacular for 0 enrollment and only $22.99 a month. Deal ends Wednesday, March 16th.
Arby's, 2 for $6 every day. Arby's classic roast beef, adored by billions. 2 of those things for just $6. Arby's, we have the meat.
Dry eye symptoms driving you crazy? Inflammation might be to blame.
Time for ache and burn.
Over-the-counter eye drops typically work by lubricating your eyes and may provide temporary relief.
Those will probably pass by me.
Xiidra works differently, targeting inflammation that can cause dry eye disease.
Xiidra? No!
It can provide lasting relief. Xiidra is the only FDA-approved non-steroid eye drop specifically for the signs and symptoms of dry eye disease. 1 drop in each eye twice a day. Don't use if you're allergic to Xiidra. Common side effects include eye irritation, discomfort or blurred vision when applied to the eye, and unusual taste sensation. Don't touch container tip to your eye or any surface. After using Xiidra, wait 15 minutes before reinserting contacts. Talk to an eye doctor about Xiidra.
I'd prefer you didn't.
Xiidra. Not today, dry eye.
about 40% off lenses with purchase of a frame. Wisconsin Vision. See more life.
Tonight at 5, another student walkout, this time at La Follette High School. We'll tell you what they're protesting, and we share how a local teacher's brush with death gave him a fresh perspective back in the classroom.
Unseasonably mild weather will give way to rain and snow Friday. I'll tell you how much to expect at 5.
Then at 6, if you're on Medicaid, you could be losing your coverage this summer. How to find out and what you should be prepared for. That's tonight at 6.
Where do we end up today with the weather satellite? New York City.
The Big Apple, nice day in New York, 56 degrees and sunny there today.
There's that apartment building everybody hates.
Yeah, right, exactly, yeah.
Well, traumatic brain injuries affect how the brain works.
The traditional way of diagnosing a problem is a CT scan.
Mandy Gaither has more on a new test researchers say will help detect brain injuries and may reduce the need for scans.
It's a blood test that researchers say can help doctors decide if a CT scan is needed for patients with mild traumatic brain injury or a concussion.
10% of these patients actually have a significant injury on their CT scan. And so it's important for us to find those 10% and make sure we get a CAT scan on them so they can be treated promptly.
The blood test can help identify those patients, says Dr. Linda Papa, an emergency medicine physician at Orlando Health. She's lead author of a study published in JAMA Network Open that looked at the accuracy of the test. She says by using 2 FDA-approved biomarkers, doctors can also reduce the need for CT scans for a majority of those who go to the hospital with mild brain injuries, reducing their radiation exposure.
That blood test would help us make that decision and say, you know what, the blood test, the value is very low. That means the patient likely does not have a significant brain injury, and we can forego the CAT scan.
That's especially important for children. Papa says they're vulnerable to the effects of radiation. In the latest CDC data from 2019, about 15% of all U.S. high school students reported a sports or recreation-related concussion in the preceding year.
As children grow, you don't want to expose them to unnecessary ionizing radiations because they're growing, their cells are changing.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Papa says these biomarkers in the blood test have been studied for about 20 years.
But the process is now FDA approved and being used in clinical practice. Pretty exciting news.
Yes, it is.
Well, it's time to get your plant and garden questions answered.
The number to call, 608-270-9933. Lisa Briggs from the Bruce Company is with us in the studio. She's ready to take your calls. Call now, 608, don't forget the 608-270-9933. We'll be right back.
There's a difference in a small town where family values still hold true. Welcome to the Portage Furniture Store. Well, we ventured back to Portage and look at who we found, the 2 Ayers brothers, Austin and Aaron. It's good to see you guys.
Welcome back.
So how is business? How is life?
Business has been great. You know, it's been very busy, busy for both of us. A couple new kiddos in the past year. So no, but business has been doing great.
I know you really want to give a shout out to all of the people around this area that shop local, that choose to come right here to Cook Street to see the 2 of you.
Obviously, first and foremost, we're so appreciative of our customers, and there's just been such a strong sentiment to shop local, shop small, support family business. And I guess with the inventory, we've been very blessed. We've got a packed showroom, trucks coming in every week. We've really, we're running out of places to put everything. We're in good shape.
I feel like there's such a difference in the customer's mood when they walk in. They don't have that anxious feeling of, oh gosh, here comes the salesperson coming over to talk to me. Why is that so different here?
We put a major emphasis on no pressure shopping. Our salespeople, they're fantastic. They're going to be there when you need them, but they're going to let you, try everything out, and they're going to leave you alone, let you relax.
So all these years later, the big question is, there's still the Portage Furniture free delivery?
Yep, absolutely. Still the free delivery. Going to bring it right into your home, set it up, make it perfect for you. They'll even cook you dinner or sing a song for you if you need. They're just fantastic.
That's that small, local, family feel business mentality. You can't replicate it, right?
We're the Ayers family.
From the Portage Furniture Store, I'm Emmy Fink, and you're buzzed into Madison.
To be a thriver with metastatic breast cancer means asking for what we want and need, and we need more time. So we want Kisqali. Women are living longer than ever before with Kisqali when taken with an aromatase inhibitor or fulvestrant in postmenopausal women with HR-positive, HER2-negative metastatic breast cancer. Kisqali is a pill that's significantly more effective at delaying disease progression versus an aromatase inhibitor or fulvestrant alone. Kisqali can cause lung problems or an abnormal heartbeat, which can lead to death. It can cause serious skin reactions, liver problems, and low white blood cell counts that may result in severe infections. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including breathing problems, cough, chest pain, a change in your heartbeat, dizziness, yellowing of the skin or eyes, dark urine, tiredness, loss of appetite, abdomen pain, bleeding, bruising, fever, chills, or other symptoms of an infection, a severe or worsening rash, are or plan to become pregnant or breastfeeding. Avoid grapefruit during treatment. Ask your doctor about living longer with Kisqali.
I don't have any major accidents popping up on the screen right now, but eastbound along the Beltline, things slowing down quite a bit for us. Westbound still looks pretty smooth. As far as Rock County goes, no delays on the interstate, and downtown Janesville actually looks all green for us this evening. Drive times generally sitting in a pretty similar spot. The Beltline to Janesville, about 25 minutes, 16 minutes to get from Middleton to Sauk City, and downtown to Sun Prairie sitting close to 19 minutes for us this evening. That's a quick look at traffic.
All right, Tina, thank you. A massive hot air from the Sahara Desert dumped dust across much of Spain. Residents say it's raining mud. The National Air Quality Index qualified it as extremely unfavorable, its worst rating in the capital Madrid and large parts of the southeast coast. Many Spaniards woke up to find a layer of red dust covering terraces, streets, cars, everything. In Malaga on the southern coast, the sky was tinted orange. The Sahara dust storm was described by the Weather Service as extraordinary and very intense. Now the priority is cleaning up the muddy residue.
Ugh, what a mess.
All right, Lisa Briggs from the Bruce Company is here taking your calls at 270-9933. Good to see you.
Lisa, hi there. How are you guys?
Got some mums along? Some pansies?
Pansies. They're so happy.
They are. They're happy flowers.
They can't go out yet.
As long as the night temperatures are going to be above 35, you can keep them out. If it's going to be colder than that, you want to protect the flowers.
Okay.
But the plants themselves are fine to like below 30.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Absolutely.
Okay, good.
All right.
Let's go to the phones, and we'll start with Pat in Muscadet. Hi, Pat. What's your question?
I have a couple. Maybe they're connected. Is it too early to cut off your mums and pull the dead plants from last year? And also, I have some sedum like that. Or should it be left on till it gets warm consistently?
No, you can go ahead and clean those up. I would, rather than pulling, I would probably take some shears or pruners and cut it so that you don't do damage and possibly, pull the plant out of the ground. But now's the perfect time to do that. They'll be fine.
See, mums, that's why.
Yeah, I know, that's why.
Let's go to Maggie from Wanakee. Hi, Maggie. What's your question?
Hi. I received a dwarf Alberta spruce as a centerpiece at Christmas time from the Arbor Day Foundation. And I'm trying to keep it alive so I can transplant it outdoors in the spring. It says you can, but it's turning brown. Am I watering it too much, or can I transplant it into a pot now, or what do you suggest?
I'd probably leave it in the pot that it's in right now. Probably what's happened is that it started to bud. It's broken bud on the new buds for this year, and so it's a little warm in your house. I'd put it in a cooler window. You could certainly put it outside on nice days like this, and then I'd plant it directly in the ground on maybe a southeast side of your house where it's going to get a little bit of protection from winter wind and winter afternoon sun.
So it's winter hardy.
Dwarf Alberta spruces are part of Black Hill spruce family, and they are hardy, although they're a little bit prone to winter sun damage.
All right, very good. Let's go to Art in Marshall. Hi, Art. You're next. What's your question?
I have a question. I got a bleeding heart plant that's probably 80 years old. It's been moved once from one site to another. I'm wondering when is a good time to move it, and when I do move it, can I split it up so I get two plants out of it?
You probably could split a bleeding heart. The best time to move it is to do it as soon as you can get your shovel in the ground, but the ground has started to dry out. So when you make a clod, if you put your finger in it, it breaks away like cake and not mushy like brownie mix. Make sure that your spade or your knife or whatever you're using to split it is really sharp, so you cause the least amount of damage. And then when you replant it, I would definitely use like a starter fertilizer that's good for root production. So that means that first number on those 3 numbers on the fertilizer is low, and the other 2 are higher.
So as soon as you can work the soil.
As soon as you can work the soil, yes.
All right. Lucy in Madison. Hi, Lucy. What's your question?
Hi. I have a Norfolk pine in a large pot inside the house, and I put it out in the summertime, and it has I repotted it last summer, and the root ball was very small, and I was wondering, you know, did I put too much fertilizer in the pot, or, you know, what am I doing wrong, and how much should I water it and stuff?
So when you repot plants, you want your new pot to only be slightly bigger than the original pot, especially with plants that have smaller root systems. You're adding a lot of soil volume that holds water that maybe the plant isn't going to respond to that very well. I would certainly maybe check your watering, make sure that the plant is dried like halfway through before you water again. And as far as fertilizing is concerned, now that the days are getting longer, you could start fertilizing if the plant is in good shape. But if it's showing signs of stress, I would check the watering in the light first and get it back on a more even track before you start encouraging it to grow.
All right, very good. Let's go to Jeffrey in Evansville. Hi, Jeffrey. What's your question?
Hi, my question is, last year we planted about 5 or 6 flats of pansies, and the squirrels were targeting only certain colors. And
interesting.
And I just wondered, if, you know, what is that all about?
Well, I don't know why they like some colors better than others, but I would say that the best way to deal with them is to either use some kind of barrier, like some chicken wire that you fold over in a hoop on the top until they find other things to deal with, or you can use a repellent. I particularly like freeze-dried granulated predator urine is my favorite. There's a company called Shake Away, and I used it on my hostas to keep the rabbits away last summer, and it was super effective.
Have you ever heard that before, that squirrels prefer certain colors?
No, but I often say to myself that I think Japanese beetles have a color preference from year to year. That's just my own personal feeling. I don't think there's any science that bears me out.
All right, a few more days like this, we'll be able to get out in the garden.
Yeah, can't wait.
All right, Lisa, thank you.
Great to see you, Lisa. Thanks for your calls, everybody.
And we'll have a final check of your forecast coming up.
At USAA, we've been called too exclusive because we were created for officers. But as we've evolved with the military, we've grown to serve all who've honorably served, no matter their rank or when they were in. A Marine just out of boot camp, or a petty officer from 73, and even his kids and their kids. USAA is made for all who honorably serve and their eligible family members. Are we still exclusive? Absolutely. And that's exactly why you should join.
What are you recommending for muscle pain?
Based on clinical data, I recommend Salon Pass.
Agreed. My patients like these patches because they work up to 12 hours, even on moderate pain.
Salon Pass, it's good medicine.
Senator Ron Johnson, you know, when I lost my husband, he made sure he reached out to me. He made sure I had everything that I need, and still, you know, pick up the phone and call me if you need anything. He always says that a lot of people say things when they don't know. I said, I just wish people knew you like I knew you. So the best advice I could ever give a person is, before you listen to what somebody else has to say, please get to know a person for yourself.
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
Welcome to the lifestyles of the smart and savvy. Today, the Coopers are a cost-conscious couple. But back in the day, not so much. Now, saving is more their style, which is why they chose Consumer Cellular. They get the same premium coverage as the nation's leading carriers for half the cost. Imagine talk, text, and data starting at $20 a month. And award-winning customer service. Switch to Consumer Cellular today and get $25.
Another student walkout, this time at La Follette High School. We'll tell you what they're protesting, and we share how a local teacher's brush with death gave him a fresh perspective back in the classroom. It's coming up tonight at 5.
Cancer took the life of a beloved UW veterinary professor, but her spirit lives on.
The big word for Linda is compassion.
Charlotte Deleste looks at the legacy that continues to impact students, patients, and pets. Thursday on News 3 Now at 5:30.
Well, after sunny skies today, we're looking at a little bit of rain for Thursday afternoon. That rain turns over to some light snow for Friday. Right now, really leaning more towards the 1 to 2 inches for accumulation by Friday night. A few isolated areas could pick up a smidge more than 2. And then by the weekend, that snow clears on out. We're back to a drier forecast for Saturday and for Sunday. We'll be right back.
At Harker Heating and Cooling, you can save a whole bunch of money when you buy a furnace. You know what's even better? Saving even more money when you purchase a furnace and an air conditioner at the same time.
Harker Heating and Cooling.
This year, there are more tax credits at stake than ever before. Thousands more. The tax pros at Jackson Hewitt will help track down every last dollar. Jackson Hewitt is here to make sure you don't miss a single deduction, so you can get your biggest refund guaranteed.
And it's easy to get a quote at libertymutual.com, so you only pay for what you need. Isn't that right, Limu? Limu? Sorry, 1 sec. Yeah. Oh, boy.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Dairy farms disappearing, prices up, COVID's still not gone. And what's Ron Johnson done? Voted against new jobs and told us to take mouthwash to cure COVID. I'm Sarah Godlewski. I grew up in Eau Claire where we're more interested in common sense than conspiracies. That's how I've run the state treasurer's office, and common sense is what, quite frankly, we could use in Washington. Practical ideas that just help people, not mouthwash. I'm Sarah Godlewski, and that's why I approve this message.
My daughter has type 2 diabetes, and lately, I've seen this change in her.
Once-weekly Trulicity is proven to help lower A1C. It lowers blood sugar from the first dose, and you could lose up to 10 pounds. Trulicity is for type 2 diabetes. It isn't for people with type 1 diabetes. It's not approved for use in children. Don't take Trulicity if you're allergic to it. You or your family have medullary thyroid cancer or have multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2. Stop Trulicity and call your doctor right away if you have an allergic reaction, a lump or swelling in your neck, severe stomach pain, changes in vision, or diabetic retinopathy. Serious side effects may include pancreatitis. Taking Trulicity with sulfonylurea or insulin raises low blood sugar risk. Side effects include nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea, which can lead to dehydration and may worsen kidney problems. Ask your doctor about once-weekly Trulicity.
At Vanguard, you're more than just an investor. You're an owner. With access to financial advice, tools, and a personalized plan that helps you build a future for those you love. Vanguard. Become an owner.
At Harker Heating and Cooling, you can save a whole bunch of money when you buy a furnace. You know what's even better? Saving even more money when you purchase a furnace and an air conditioner at the same time.
Harker Heating and Cooling.
In today's Final Touch, Labrador Retrievers are still the top dog in America.
They remain the most popular dog breed in the U.S. That's according to the American Kennel Club's list of the most popular breeds. Labs may still tug hardest at dog lovers' heartstrings, but poodles just strutted back into the club's top 5, the 5 most popular breeds, for the first time in nearly a quarter of a century. Drawn from more than 800,000 purebred puppies and older pooches that joined the nation's oldest canine registry last year. After Labs, the top 10 are French Bulldog, Golden Retrievers, German Shepherds, Poodles, Bulldogs, Beagles, Rottweilers, German Short-Haired Pointers, and Dachshunds. Labs have been #1 for an unprecedented 31 straight years.
Oh, that's big. Look at that face.
Right, Eric?
That's trouble.
There can be trouble as well. That's our time for now. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back here again tomorrow. News 3 Now at 5 starts right now.